Happy Wednesday. This is episode number 19. And today's episode, we're going to talk about toxic loyalty. What is a toxic loyalty? This is something fairly new to me. I really didn't know what that meant. And when you don't know what it means, you're going to be in situations that you really feel uncomfortable, you really don't want to be in, but you don't have the language for it. You simply believe that you have this loyalty to people, whether it be your family, whether it be your significant other, whether it be your friends. You have this loyalty to them, and you begin to accept and tolerate a lot of things that don't necessarily resonate with you or that you agree with. And it really changed my perspective of many things. But I want to break this down. Whenever I talk about a toxic loyalty in the whenever it's with a in a love relationship, I feel that whenever I was in my relationship, I was 1,000% in that relationship, and there was nothing that would happen for me to go or for me to like walk away from that relationship. I was gonna be in that relationship till the end of my life. That was something that was in me. And whenever people get married, whenever people uh, move in together and they begin to, when a couple gets together and they agree to be with each other forever, you begin to you begin to later on come across situations, and even though those are like the red signs, you're willing to look the other way. You're willing to not make a big deal out of it because of this toxic loyalty. A lot of the times, like in a Hispanic household, we are brought up with this idea that you're going to meet somebody, and once you fall in love with that person and that's the love of your life, you're going to be with them forever. And I feel like that was me. I was like, well, this is it. I'm going to be here. We're going to have kids together. We're going to get our own house, and that's it. I have to make it work. And if he wouldn't have broken up with me, I can guarantee that I would have been there still. And now, years later, looking back, it was like a blessing in disguise because it allowed me to find myself and to connect with myself. And now I have an idea of what I want and what I don't want in a relationship. And I'm glad that he did that. I feel that whenever someone breaks up with you, my narrative for a long time was maybe putting the blame onto him. And now I can tell you that no, like the only person that and now I can say no, like a lot of it was me. Like I have a lot of blame because and granted I didn't know about this, but now I know that you are the one that puts limits and decides what you want and what you don't want to tolerate. And that's an advice that I give you. Like, whenever you're in a relationship, remember that the most important thing about that relationship is the relationship of you with yourself. So, based on that, you're going to measure how everything is with your spouse. So, the moment that you realize that things are not working out they're not working out for the relationship, but most importantly, it's not working out for you, it's okay for you to walk away and for you to break that relationship and move to a different space. Like, you don't have to be in those situations just because of this toxic loyalty that, society tells you, well, you're married, now you're going to have to be there and like accept everything. I'm not saying that on the first thing, walk away. If it's something minimal where you can work on it, compromise, perfect. But if it's something extreme where you're getting abused, you're getting beaten up, you don't need to stay there and tolerate that. And the moment that you start receiving words where you're not worth it, you're ugly, you don't need to tolerate that. Remember that you're perfect just the way you are. And whenever you begin to hear that from someone that loves you, know that that's not where you're supposed to be. Moving on to, let's say, friends, I felt that a lot of the times, friendships that I had were very different from me, and that's a good thing sometimes. But then sometimes we're too different, where people are going against your beliefs, um, your values, and when you're in that situation, you need to know where to put the line and be like, that's not something that I want around me. Um, Always remember to surround yourself with individuals that are similar to you with the same values. And like, for instance, with me, I'm very positive, I'm very happy all the time. I'm very warm, like I love to hug, I love to remind you how beautiful you are, and I give you words of affection. So there's moments now where I have like a new group of friends, and they're basically the same way. Like, they're good people. Like, they only give good words and hugs. And I never thought that was possible. I thought that that was just me, and that was just me, and that was it. But no, like, I'm able to create my own group like that, and I love it. And now that I know that, sometimes I may feel that I kind of step away from situations. I step away from, like, maybe negative people, and it's for my peace. Like, I'm not that I'm traumatized, but I definitely don't like to be in those situations. So for the most part, I'm probably going to step away. But it has nothing to do with it's nothing against them. I just I think I'm a little bit more cautious on who I want to be, who I want to have in my inner circle. Like, I just want to have these positive people, and the fact that I'm able to do that, to me, is so cool. I didn't know. I just honestly thought that you needed to accept like your friends. You needed to, even if you guys weren't didn't have nothing in common, just like maybe hanging out sometimes. I felt that I just needed to accept them like that, and that was that. And granted, I feel like, yes, you have to respect people and accept how they are, but the fact that I'm able to create this circle with people in my inner circle, I want to make sure that those individuals are positive and happy and good-hearted. Like, that's what I want with around me. When it comes down to family, I think family is a very difficult topic, especially with someone with a Mexican background, simply because we are so family oriented. And a lot of the times we don't know those boundaries, and we don't know those limits. We are brought up thinking that just because we're family, we need to tolerate and accept a lot of BS, honestly. And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Like, something that I'm now practicing is, if I understand that you and I are family, but we have nothing in common. We don't think the same. We don't like the same things. We have different point of views, and that doesn't make me love you any less. I can love you from here in my house and from a little bit far away, and I can wish you the best, and I'll be the first one to root for you, and I want for you to succeed. But on a day to day, daily, every day, we're not, we can't, because if we were to be together every day, it would be too toxic. It wouldn't be a good thing. So I would much rather see you once or twice a year, maybe. But I know that whenever I see you, I'm going to see you with a lot of love, and I'm going to give you a huge hug. But I don't have any interest in seeing you every day, because it's not going to work. And for a long time I feel guilty thinking that, because I was like, well, that's my family, I need to like show up as much as I can. No, I it's not healthy. And with my immediate family, it's been even more difficult because we are growing at our own pace. So the fact that I can see it clearly now doesn't mean that the people around me see it clearly. And for the the fact that some individuals won't ever wake up to this breaks my heart. But at the same time, I can't continue to sit there and wait. I need to live for me, and I need to stop living for other people. And because of this toxic loyalty, continue to be in a situation that is not making me grow and that is keeping me at the same place. Whenever it comes down to our parents, like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but we love our parents, we want to be there for them, but a lot of the times they're the ones that are causing these toxic loyalties, because we feel that because you're our parent, we have to be there and tolerate everything. And that's not it. That's not how it goes. Whenever you become an adult, you have to really sit there and be like, you know what? I love you. You're my mom, you're my dad, and I'm always going to be here for you. But I can be here for you from my own place, from my own house, from my far away. Like, I don't need to be there with you 24/7. And that's something that's very new to me. Like, I honestly felt that, well, that's what you have. That's what life brought you. So tough it out. And the fact that I no longer see that, I'm very proud of that. As at the same time, it's scary because don't think that I am an expert on this. Like, I'm still learning day to day. Um, I continue to attract individuals very similar to my past, and I think it happens because I'm connecting with them from my wounded self. Like, I'm there's still that wounded part of me is still trying to connect with these other individuals. And now that I'm able to like see it, I can honestly like just put a break on it and be like, no, this is not going the right direction. I've been down this road before, and I'm able to stop it. But before, I would repeat. It was like the same. How do you say? I think in Spanish, like the same devil, different person, something like that. I'm not too sure, but I would do that, and now I can tell you that it's been a few times where I am super close to like just going off for it, and then I get to see it, and I get to kind of like picture it going forward like months later, and I was like, no, I've been through this before. I'm not gonna go that route. But it's it's been difficult. Like, don't think that from one day to another you master this. Like, there's moments where I'm going through it and I don't even realize it. With family, of course, it's very difficult because I've always been the one that has been there for everyone. And there's moments where, and I'm here to tell you, you don't need to go to every party. You don't need to go to every family reunion. You don't need to go to any family member's house if you are not connecting. Like, it's okay. Don't feel like you have to. Like, remember, a lot of the times, the way we're adults, so we think completely different, and sometimes those differences are extremely noticeable. And I get to see it from afar. Like, I get to see family members in those situations, and all I can see and I can feel is like, I have compassion for them. I have that compassion because I know that it comes from a good place where they want to be present in their lives. They want to be part of um, they want to be part of them. and they continue to question, why are things this way? Why can't we just agree on stuff? Why can't we just love each other? What's going on? And they haven't woken up to this reality where, unfortunately, just because you're the same blood, it's not going to guarantee a connection, you know. So the moment that you realize that that family member and you are never going to connect that any way, because there's only so much that you can do. The moment that you realize that, and you get to see them with compassion, and you get to see them like, okay, I accept how you are, um, I respect how you are from afar. I'm not going to be there every day, getting hurt every day. Then the better it's going to be for you, and it's going to be very noticeable. People are going to be like, something's something changed with him or her. They're acting stuck up. They think they're better than us. You name it. Remember that it's okay for you to be the villain in someone else's story. If you really think about it, do you think you're the villain in your own story? No, for the most part, you're the main character, and people around you are the villains. So just know and accept that you are the villain in someone else's story. For a long time, I wanted to always make sure that nobody thought that about me. I was like, no, no, like I'm good. Like I'm here for you. I'm gonna, I'm a good person. I can talk to you. I don't want for you to think that I'm doing anything bad, because it doesn't come from a bad place. I'm done trying to explain myself, and I'm done trying to um, make people realize who I am. If you have this perception of me that I'm the villain, then it's okay. Like if I'm gonna be if me being a villain in your story is gonna help you cross that bridge, I'm all for it. It's totally fine. And whenever you're in these toxic families, if you pay attention to most Hispanic families, um, there comes a point where there's like a something breaks severe. Something happens. It always happens, and it happens because there was people don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to respect every someone else's point of view, and then you have situations where you have siblings that don't speak to each other in years. You have families that are completely broken because there was no one there to unite them, and hey, let's talk. This is how this person is. This is how this person is. There's nothing like that. And now, whenever I want for you to watch the movie Fools Rush In. So the movie Fools Rush In, it's a Mexican girl and a white guy from New York. So they fall in love, they get married, but they explain to you that she's always with her family. Every weekend they're together. Every week they have a family dinner. And then you have him, and he only visits his parents twice a year. And that is very similar to reality, but it make now I understand why maybe some people see their families twice a year, because it can be too much. It's too much. It's draining. It drains you. And then you think about the like the Mexican family, and we're always together, cookouts together all the time. But then with all that, yes, it's cute and we're always there for each other, but then there's moments where it's too toxic. It's too it's too much. And people really don't talk about those moments because it they try to like they try to put like the best picture and not really talk about the actual issues. They don't talk about that the siblings don't get along. They don't talk about the relationship is no longer working. They don't talk about a lot of things are kept inside the house, and no one knows about it. And I'm not down for that, because you really don't grow from that. You really don't have the time to really study those. There's moments where I feel like, well, I have gone through this and that, and me sharing this with you, hopefully you can relate, and hopefully you can take some of the things that I'm talking about and apply it to your life to avoid any unnecessary suffering. But I'm here to tell you that the only person that can take care of you is you. Don't wait for anybody to come and take care of you and come and save you. And most importantly, don't feel that just because you have the same blood, you have to accept and tolerate nonsense. Let's be done with this toxic loyalty, and let's focus on the loyalty that you have with yourself, the loyalty that you have, and that promise that you have to be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, and radiate love from you out. I want to thank you so much for the, for the messages and for these beautiful moments that I get to talk about situations that happen to me. Um, I talk about things that I'm going through and that I'm learning, and I really hope that you get the messages that are going to help you. And I will see you next week. Talk to you soon.